something that I just can't understand the way I behave. Some people you can never save. In my right hand, got a girl on my ear, and on my left hand, throwing back a beer. What can I say, amigo?
The back door open, and in come walking 5 people. They're tricked out in the typical kind of SWAT riot gear. One of them is a very dark-haired man. He's kind of tall, larger than life. Looks like he's about 6'2", broad shoulders. There's a young, short Hispanic woman behind him. A young, thin black guy. And then a red-haired short guy, and then a blonde, good-looking officer. Most of the women are immediately drawn their eyes to the blonde, good-looking guy because he's very handsome. They come striding down the way. Deacon Fontainebleau comes down off the steps and says, I believe we were going to bless your bullets and possibly anoint them with holy water. Yes. And the 5 people come down there, and they stand and one of them, you notice that actually
Can I take my sword down there?
Yeah, oh, you can. The Hispanic girl actually does the kind of the little bow thing before she goes and sits in the pew. Mm-hmm. She takes out one of her clips from one of her guns. She immediately starts, kind of rolling the bullets out of it and lays them on the front of the pew. And you're kind of like, she may have done this before. The rest of the guys kind of follow her lead and immediately start rolling bullets out on the pews. And Deacon Fontainebleau comes out.
And follow their lead?
Yeah, okay, you can do that, yeah. Anybody else who has guns may do that? No, okay. You can lay your sword on the thing.
I got these birds!
Yeah, that's right.
I put my biceps on the pew.
Yeah, nobody does anything. Sorry, man. You see Deacon Fontainebleau come out with basically the little holy water sprinkler, and he goes in the name of the Father, and he's kind of blessing them like that. So everybody kind of picks up they pick up the weapons and put them back into the clip. You notice that a couple of the guys from the police precinct, the first bullet, one of them pulls out a knife, pops it open, and cuts across into the front. And then the first bullet, the first bullet's going to come out. The last bullet they put in, and they ram the clip home. The tall, kind of dark-haired guy comes walking towards you, Miranda, and he says, "Miranda."
I'm assuming I know who this is?
No, you've never met this guy. He says, "Sergeant James Jefferson. I'm in charge of this squad of the New Orleans Special Task Force. These were the 5 that were willing to help you tonight with what's going on. This young lady behind me is Detective Maria Vasquez. The gentleman behind me that you see, the tall, thin, kind of lanky guy, is Detective Antoine Washington. This gentleman," he points towards the red-headed guy, is Michael O'Malley. He's Officer Michael O'Malley. And then the good-looking guy that most of you ladies can't seem to keep your eyes off of is Larry Williams. And Maria goes, "I don't know about you, but I am sick of looking at that guy." And so he goes, "Oh yeah, Maria, of course you are. That's what you always say." And they kind of chuckle, and yeah, you get the feeling that these guys know each other pretty well.
Miranda and Antoine detectives, James
sergeant. James Jefferson is a sergeant,
and then Michael and Larry are
just officers. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Maria and Antoine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll shake hands. Introductions. Yeah. Miranda, nice to meet you.
Yeah. And who's the rest of this group? Seems like we're a group of 10 tonight.
I'm Della Fontano, and I'm here to help Miranda with this problem. Mm-hmm. And I was given some intel earlier this evening that when we're out there, we need to watch out. We need at all costs to destroy the drums. And I was also told we may not actually see the drums, but just be aware that that's probably something that is either helping the ghouls, or if we destroy them would hurt the ghouls. So.
Right. So Sergeant looks at him and says, "Drums, got it."
Those are you familiar with ghouls? Have you fought them before?
Fought ghouls before. Drums generally aren't associated with them, but I understand we're heading into the St. Louis Cathedral to deal with some other things that are going on. Drums, got it. He says, "Guys, look out for drums. and make sure we take those. Target anybody who is drumming first. Yeah.
I didn't see you guys before now.
He shoots you.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, anybody else going to introduce themselves?
I'll just kind of like
Yeah.
initiate introductions and be like, this is and this is
Darwin, General Handyman, pleasure.
and this fellow is
Victor.
Yeah.
Muscle.
Muscle. Victor? Volt. I thought it was. You telling Victor?
You're telling him Victor.
Yeah, Victor.
I don't want the cops knowing my name. I do some shady shit.
You noticed that
I don't want the smoke.
you noticed that James, that Sergeant Jefferson looks at your gun and says, "It's a mighty large caliber handgun you're packing there."
Yes, it is. It's very fine craftsmanship.
It is, huh? Custom, obviously. Yeah, okay. He says,
Can I
"Look,
see your papers?
no, he didn't ask for
you
papers or anything."
It's a regular cop, maybe, but
know-
The Archbishop just let him in and bless him. He's
You notice all these guys are carrying rifles. They've got pistols on their hips. And, of course, the various and sundry things that policemen carry on their belts, handcuffs,
Feel underdressed.
Me too.
Really casual clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys are wearing riot armor. You're pretty sure that they're coming loaded for bear.
Pretty
Yeah.
badass.
I got
So,
a badge.
I mean, I wear I got my magic.
Oh, yeah, we're all
You
wearing
hear
our
the funny
badges.
thing about your badge? Your badge gives you armor too, right?
That's right.
You know how much all their riot gear gives them?
What?
Armor too.
So,
You're not underdressed.
Yeah.
You're just more casual
Hey.
dressed. That's right. Yeah.
We just look cooler.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So there you go.
we came prepared.
That's right.
So Sergeant Jefferson, your people seem to be outfitted for this sort of thing. You guys are experienced in this kind of.
We've dealt with a few threats. I've dealt with a ghoul once or twice. Couple black court vampires, though that was a nasty situation. Lost a few good men to that. Those are some nasty characters. We had a loup-garou that came into the town last couple of years. Good thing we had some silver on hand, especially antique silver. Wound up actually having to make the bullets to take that sucker down with my grandfather's pocket watch. Sad thing. I like my granddad. But yeah, I've been involved in a few altercations like this. There's a few of us out here who know what's going on and really going on in the world. Yeah.
Well, in the future, if you need any help procuring certain items to help with these things, feel free
You're
to
Della.
contact me.
He says, the White Council representative, the warden?
Yes.
He says, right. Heard about wardens. Never worked with one before. Hopefully this will be a good chance to maybe make some good connections.
Good.
I mean, this guy is very military,
I give
very
him a
kind of
card.
by the books, dark-headed,
Very much a unit. Yeah, it's gonna be a different vibe, but hey,
He's broad shoulders. He's a typical. You get the feeling this guy was military before he joined the police. He
But
says,
I
"All
let
right,
him know that
guys, they're very
I don't.
tactical, but we have
Phones don't always
spirit.
work for me, so
right, gotcha." He says, "So my understanding is that the meeting is at midnight.
Yes.
So we've got about 6 hours to kill. Anything in particular we need to do in those 6 hours to get ready for this meeting?"
I guess we could try to get a lay of the land, maybe do some pre-investigating, see if there's
well,
any
let's talk
advantage
to him
we
about
can
what we did at let's not show him your original map, but just talk to him about
What, this one?
where they came in from.
Yeah, so we've
Wasn't it black everywhere?
the burn hole, the
I'm
missing
trying
white
to
box.
tap into like my military history for this. I'm like, y'all seeing a very different attitude from Miranda right now. She's trying to be serious because she's like,
You mean you have been trying this whole time?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
no, I just let that.
We were in life and death situations. Where have you been?
I mean,
He
know.
When
he
the
actually
sword comes out.
Yeah,
I
right.
just,
Yeah,
I
that is
just mean
serious
I'm
drugs.
trying to have like the whole, I'm about this life attitude with these guys, you know?
Yeah, right. You head back towards the back of the church. There's a table there with a bunch of some tracts and some little booklets of the different liturgies and things like that. He kind of reverently places them on the second shelf so that the table is cleared. Pulls a map out and he goes, we've got the Louis Armstrong Park here, really nothing there. We've got lots of buildings all around on the northeast east and south side of the cemetery. I'm thinking that probably Larry, you should find a sniper's nest in one of the buildings across the street. And Larry's the blonde-headed guy, really nice looking guy, and he says, "Got it, Sergeant. I'll take care of that." He said, "The rest of us, we've got 2 entrances, south and east. Which do you think is best? Or do we want to hit them from 2 directions?"
We were on the. Were we on the south
We
side?
were on the
last
south
time?
side.
last time, but
Last time they came towards us on the south side. So
Aren't we meeting some woman and her
yeah.
master, right?
Yeah,
Master
apprentice and apprentice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she didn't.
Let's.
I mean, if we can flank
Let's
them
set
at
this-
all possible, we
Can
want
the
to.
sniper set up on the east?
You could, yes. There's lots of empty buildings. He can probably make his way to the rooftops, still, for sure.
Which entrance has like maybe a better area that's a better kill zone or something?
None of them.
None of
I mean, there's
them.
just
Very
so
clustered and
many
cluttered and
tombs
stuff.
all clustered around. I mean, there's kind of an open area to the north side, which is where a lot of the people who, when they die, are not, in the Catholic Church. If they want to be buried there, they can be buried there. He says, "So, what kind of resistance are we looking in? Are we going to run into tonight? I know ghouls. You've mentioned something about some woman."
Yeah, there's-
I think
Don't
she's
really
the leader.
know.
Yeah, the leader and her apprentice.
So 2 potentially magically active.
Yeah, we're not really
individuals.
sure. They're the ones who are causing we're doing whatever that has been riling up the ghosts.
And
So
it was
now
6 schools. We killed 1.
So
But
5
it
left.
seemed like there might have been more somewhere else.
So we might
I'm
run
not sure.
into a large group of ghouls. Okay, ghouls
Also-
are pretty hard to kill. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
There may be a chance of civilian interference. They seem to have like sway over human familiar type people, promise of power kind of thing. I don't know exactly what your approach to that would be, but it's possible they might have human shields.
Well, my personal feeling on that is if they've thrown in their lot with the powers of darkness, then there may be no redemption involved for them. So we may have to just go ahead and if there's a human shield, I may have to shoot through. You're not sure how you feel
Everybody
about
can be
that.
Yeah.
Now, don't tell anybody. That's kind of the same attitude of the White Council. The White Council is
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they're
that's how I feel about
necromancers.
it.
They're
Yeah.
dealing with evil, trucking with demons.
Yeah.
We should just kill them. Because either that or we're just going to have somebody show up and cut their head off. So, yeah.
Because if we don't kill them, they're going to kill us.
All right. So you're not sure how you feel about that. As a Knight of the Cross, redemption is
I'm pretty
always
sure I know how to
possible.
feel about it, yeah.
That's right. So
Pretty sure.
you're kind of going, yeah. I'm
That's
not sure
actually
how I
one
feel
of my
about that.
aspects.
Yeah.
No one is beyond saving if they want to be
That's
saved.
correct. As a Knight of the Cross, that is very appropriate. So yeah,
For the record, Darwin's down with this.
down with shooting through them. Yeah.
If it comes
Yeah,
to Senor Mr. McRando waving a ritual dagger around, or me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose me. That's-
Yeah, there you go. Well,
I
well,
understand
obviously
that.
so,
I
right?
have no qualms with it either.
In the heat of battle, I do understand that sometimes decisions have to be made. But if there's a chance that we could not take out human life, let's try for that.
And
Obviously, not at the expense of your own safety, but
do remember, Warden, that killing someone through the use of magic is kind of a no-no. Killing ghouls, okay. Killing humans
Even
with
if
the
they're
use of
familiars? Even if they're familiar?
Yeah. Not okay. Now, if you put a gun to their head and pull the trigger, White Council's like, hey, you didn't use magic, it's okay. They're still just as dead. Yeah, right. It's kind of a silly system.
Same for
But
swords.
I'm
But-
sure they probably just don't want to be discovered, which is
Right.
why no
Right.
use of magic against humans.
Yeah, but they don't want they don't want to head down the slippery slope where people say, "Well, I
Right.
did it because of this." So
Right.
Alrighty. So you kind of
have a plan.
yeah. What is our plan?
our plan is I'm gonna Sergeant
James Jefferson.
Jefferson.
What do we-
Sergeant
what do we
Jefferson.
know?
Where would you like us to? Do you want us to just kind of be where we were last time, like? Because they're expecting to see us and not you. So what would be good for us to do?
I'm thinking that probably my men and I At which point, Vasquez goes, "Hey!" And Jefferson looks and goes, "Please. You're probably more manly than most of the guys under my command." At which point the other guys go, "Hey!" And he says, "I think that we should probably come in through the south. You should go in through the eastern entrance. If my understanding of magic is correct, probably they're going to be doing the magic in an area that has a high significant aspect to it. Maybe Marie
Nicolas
Laveau."
Cage up.
Yeah, nobody cares about that place. Maybe Marie Laveau's tomb, possibly one of the other larger tombs that is there. Who knows? Maybe Nick Cage. His career's dead anyway. So
That's why he really built it.
Hey.
That's not a bad idea. However, do we want them to get into doing what it is they're here to do, or do we want to stop them from the jump? Do we want to funnel them to where we want them to go?
We don't know who they are.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he's just pointing out where they're going to try and head to.
right.
Right. I'm just saying, do we want to let them get there?
So what time?
No.
So are you saying that maybe we should preemptively move into the position and try and catch them as they start?
Yeah, we can either
like to
guess
stealth out.
where we can either guess where they're gonna be and try to flank that position. But the place is a labyrinth. If they get away from us, they could disappear into the cemetery and get out.
It is.
Or do we force them to enter where we want them to enter and confront them before they start doing whatever they're gonna do?
Why not just confront them
of
outside
that
the
point.
entrance?
Outside the entrance?
I mean,
Or
there's
we
two
could-
entrances.
We could
Unless
try
they've
to
got a-
seal up
wrong-
one entrance to
yeah.
some degree.
Unless they've got a lair already in
leave
there.
one open, honeypot style. I don't know. I mean, they're
You know,
they're not.
maybe they have a huge
stupid, they
underground
know we're
lair
here.
underneath one of the crypts or something. I don't know.
Could be.
I
I mean, we're not gonna surprise them. They know we're here.
Yeah, she's already made the call.
So
So on the phone, she asked to meet with us. Is that what it was?
She said, "Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night."
So they all know that
Okay.
we're gonna be here.
Well, so we could be the spearhead, draw the attention,
Right.
while
Let the
They're
special
just
task
back up.
force.
We'll be the anvil. They can be the hammer.
Yeah, exactly, and so
But-
they can do the sneak attack. You know, or
We
whatever
could draw
it
the
is.
attention, try and see where they're going to keep them from it.
All my military theory right there: hammer and anvil.
Yeah, I
Got
like
it.
I
Not
like
bad
it.
theory.
I
Not
read
bad
2
theory.
chapters of The Art of War.
That's kind of old school.
Nice.
We'll give some Clausewitz to
Let's
read.
see,
Yeah.
so horses. No.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the food supply.
Yeah, right. It's
integral.
important. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we kill all the humans.
That's
All
right. There you go.
Victor
Right.
leaves.
Right. Okay, so we'll set up a location where we think that they're going to.
Come in through.
Yeah.
Is that what we want to do? Do we want to meet them at the door? Or do we want to just call it Marie Laveau's grave and hope that that's where they're coming?
I think we should meet them at the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I think they're expecting to meet us at the door.
I
Yeah,
think so too.
yeah. Because
Okay.
wherever Oliver, because was Oliver was the guy who was running.
Right.
Yeah, that's to the.
If we
Yeah,
He was
wherever
run-
he was
His
going
station?
To. Yeah, his station.
his station, because if we present as if we're not trying to ambush them
And it's an actual meeting.
and it's an actual meeting, then they might not know about these
Then
guys.
they may actually be ambushed.
Right.
Could be.
Especially if we pull all it onto us, yeah. Like,
All right. So he says, okay, so you're going to try and convince them that this is a parlay, a chance to talk.
Yes.
Coming in through the south or east, which do you think would be the best place to meet them?
We were
South is where
south
Oliver's place
entrance,
was.
the one where Oliver was,
Which
and I
one
think
was?
that's the
South.
one they used
Okay.
before,
Then
correct?
you come in through the south, we'll come in through the east.
Is there any way that we can make sure that East Gate is locked, not?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, because we don't want them be all sitting here and then have them coming in.
I got a chain and a padlock. We can make sure that is locked down. Yeah, so he says, okay, no problem. So you'll come into the south or wait for them at the south entrance.
Okay.
When do we want to set up our operations? Maybe 11 o'clock?
Maybe a
about
little
an hour.
earlier than
Earlier,
that.
just in case they decide
Yeah.
to scout
So, you
out.
know-
how long
what
do
if
y'all
they're-
need?
We're ready to go. Lock it and load, but, we can always,
Did you ever place the thing that you made from the thing that you stole?
Oh, yeah, you're
did,
listening.
yes,
Yeah,
you
I
did. You set
did.
it up. You
I
did.
didn't have time to listen. I went home when the bed got up and did this.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
We got from now till 12.
true.
Well, you can listen
If
after
you want to, I
tonight
don't know.
I
if
will
we
do
Do you have to
survive.
be at your
yeah.
house to do it?
Well,
So
you
I'll go hang out in my basement.
We might die, Darwin, but
You don't have
Don't
a
worry.
basement.
We'll
You're in New
raise
Orleans.
them.
Nobody has
Oh,
basements.
that's right.
You have
What am I
swimming
thinking
pools,
about?
but you
Yeah.
don't have basements.
I'll go to the
Darwin ain't
bathroom.
dying.
I'll go to my special
we might die,
bathroom
Darwin.
and listen.
Some of us might.
No,
You might die.
everybody
Would
can
you
head
like to
back.
reserve a ticket on this ride?
Everybody can head back to your house and listen in because I mean
Okay.
it's literally everybody can hear what's being
All right,
said.
well, I'll take them back. And,
Okay, so Jeff,
Because it's like
Sergeant
we saw
Jefferson.
6 hours, right?
Yeah.
Sergeant Jefferson says he'll meet you at the at Lafitte's blacksmith shop just outside at 10 o'clock.
okay.
All right, and we'll head in together from there because Lafitte's is like maybe 3 blocks from this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just
So
saying, if anyone gets attacked, just scream.
yeah.
That's
Now,
I'm gonna send emojis.
just to let you know, all of you who have received the anybody who didn't go up for a blessing or communion.
I went for the blessing.
I went for
Yeah,
communion.
definitely.
I did the
Blessing.
Anybody who didn't.
Yeah, we all know.
Oh,
Okay, everybody gets an extra fate point. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, gotta get one more. And I got you. Okay. And
I've got 2.
everybody gets +1 conviction for the scene in the actual St. Louis cemetery. Okay.
I just want to add it too.
And you may,
Conviction
one time per scene, in this particular scene, add +1 to a roll that supports the mission. So
Is that the
you
conviction?
yeah, well, you get a +1 to
Things
just
on top
this
of
one
that.
scene to your conviction. So if you get a 5 conviction, you have 6 now, right?
But you said it at one time. I'm sorry.
No.
And then you may add +1 to a roll that supports the mission. So if you're trying to,
In addition to the conviction.
in addition,
That's
right,
what I was wondering.
right, right, right.
Okay.
So if you're trying to kill a bad guy, you can say, okay, I'm going to use my bonus thing to get a +1 to make sure my hit really hits hard.
Can we use a
Awesome.
bonus thing for someone else?
No,
Okay.
you may not. Okay. Also realize that all your bullets have been blessed, as well as your sword, so they do count as holy items at least for the next few hours.
Can my brass knuckles be blessed or no?
Yeah, they can be.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
So that'll work. But yeah, that's what you get from this. No, that can be. Yeah.
the
No,
little
no,
scriptures
like-
of crosses on each little thing.
I just imagine it's like, yeah, put some on. There's like little faint smokes, like disconcerting, but yeah.
Oh, it doesn't hurt me.
No, that's right. It doesn't bother him. It's just a dragon.
Just a dragon.
That's right. All right. So you head back to Della's place. You go back into her thaumaturgy lab, and she's got this weird circle set up with this little piece of rock, maybe a little corner of an urn, and then it's got this weird silver ear thing like you've seen in The Hobbit that the guy was using to listen out of, right? So it's an ear thing, yeah.
okay.
And it's attached to this little piece of stone with a piece of copper
I
wire.
have 2 of them. I
And
have
you
one
also-
in the 422 and one.
Right, and same kind of silver little, cone thing. And so she's got 2. One of them is from the 422. You can hear a little bit of noise from that about people going to this bar. It seems like a cop bar. They're talking about, yeah, I arrested this guy. I can't believe he's doing this. Nothing really important. The one you're interested in is the one that's from the cemetery. And so you're listening to it. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on. It's about 8 o'clock. The cemetery gates are closing. There's not really. You can hear the last ghost tour that's going through there. He's talking about, Nicolas Cage's tomb and how, that he had bought the Laurie mansion and therefore he purchased a tomb in the, or a plot in the St. Louis #1 because he thought he'd been cursed by this town. You can hear him talking to you about some of the different Italian and the French areas, and then there's the battalion of New Orleans statues and stuff like that. And so there's he's kind of giving them a rundown on this, the different tombs that are in the walls of the actual St. Louis cemetery and some things like that. And he's giving kind of a background, and then he says, now remember, when you leave the St. Louis cemetery, make sure that you kiss your hand and touch the door lintel, because otherwise, if you don't, then a ghost will follow you home.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, right. And then you hear a bunch of and you hear a bunch of kissing and smacking the lintel and people coming out and stuff like that. So,
I don't do it.
No. This is just the guy who's talking.
Oh,
yeah. You're not there.
We're
yet.
just listening to
Yeah,
this.
listening to this. Yeah.
You're like, I don't do it.
No, he's just saying that on principle. We're like,
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, let everybody know.
No.
You know, when we did our tour,
Like
I
that.
didn't do it. But when I came home, I had pink eye.
You did what?
I had pink eye. Dun, dun, dun!
Because something
man.
flew in your eye.
Yeah, I know.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. It's a
Man,
ghost.
what kind of
The
ghost
ghost, yeah.
farts
Ghost
on your
guy.
pillow, man?
Wow,
Yeah, I know.
a dick.
Yeah, yeah, really bad ghosts. All right. So you're listening in. Things are pretty quiet. You know, you don't hear anything. Once you hear the gates actually crunk, it sounds like somebody locking them up. Things get pretty quiet. Nothing going on.
Just think about ghost poop farting on pillows.
That's right. 30 minutes goes by. You don't hear anything. Maybe a few birds, things like that. 10 o'clock rolls. Well, sorry, excuse me. 9 o'clock rolls around.
I bring
Again,
snacks out
nothing.
once in a while.
Yeah, right. You get some probably Gardettas or something like that. 9:30. You don't hear anything, so it sounds like it's quiet in there. And you're supposed to remember to meet them at 10 o'clock at Lafitte's. So you probably all pile into the Impala and head down to Lafitte's. It takes you about maybe 15 minutes to get there. Volt finds a place to park that's kind of off the main street. And you all head to Lafitte's. Outside Lafitte's, you see what looks like a van. It's a white van, very nondescript. It's sitting in the front seat is what looks like Sergeant Jefferson. So it seems like they're all hanging out in the van, at least not trying to have a SWAT presence outside Lafitte's, which is probably a smart idea. You walk up to the window. Sergeant Jefferson says, yeah, he kind of rolls down the window. So, we good to go? We want to roll that direction?
We're good to go.
All right. We'll take the east entrance. You take the south, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we have a code red signal or something like
You
that?
have a cell phone, right?
Oh yes. Let me get y'all's.
I'll send you a text.
Okay.
Or
So
so
he-
somebody yell gumbo.
Yeah, the gumbo, really. He gets all your phone numbers, kind of does a group text thing. Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you can.
Not sure you want the cops having your phone,
All
huh?
right.
I'll stick close to Bunk.
Okay. So he gets all your phone numbers, and you kind of he
I
puts you in a
remind
group.
him that my phone option doesn't work.
Yeah, that's all right. You
So
stay
you're
close
not
to her,
giving your
right?
number to
No,
her?
I'm not giving my
Okay.
number to the cops.
Okay.
As an assassin, no, I'm not giving my number.
Got it.
My phone is just.
Oh, gee.
I don't own one.
Like I don't
Yeah.
have a phone.
Don't
New in
know.
town.
And hers doesn't work. So.
What do you mean assassin?
Huh?
Hashashin.
Did I say that out loud?
Hashashin. Yeah. So the three of you give him your numbers. He puts you in a group text, and then says, "All right, we're good to go." So he heads out to you head down to the south entrance, and the van begins moving down the street. Takes you maybe 5-10 minutes to walk down to the south entrance. South entrance is locked. You notice that the guard station is closed and dark. So Oliver is not there.
Is the window still broken?
There's a big piece of plywood there.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So
Just wondered.
yeah.
Okay, so do we have a key?
No.
We're just gonna
We
wait
didn't
here.
think this through. Alright, so I guess we're just waiting for them to show up.
She's the
From
one that
Dick
said
and
she's gonna
Chocolate?
meet us here, so
Do it.
Well,
Because this is supposed to be like a little meeting parlay thing, so I guess we wait outside till we're invited in?
we just line up against the brick wall like an album cover. You
well,
know.
if you
Yeah.
remember, Oliver was letting them in.
Yeah.
Right. Has the guard shack been?
It's got to be a
original
piece of
color?
plywood in front of the window.
I don't think she's gonna be worried about getting in.
Yeah.
No, I
Well,
don't think so.
no.
then we just wait here and let them cover the east entrance.
I do.
Yeah.
How is this fence really tall?
It's got that broken glass on top.
It's got broken glass on top. It's about probably 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
I mean, no, not quite that tall.
I
It's
mean,
probably like 15
we've
feet
got
tall.
a taxi.
Well,
We
what
need to
I'm
get over.
thinking is, if we have a couple minutes, maybe check the cemetery quick for drums.
The door's locked. You gonna go clip the chain? I mean, you can. I'm sure he could open the door for
He
you.
can get.
I can break things really well.
You can.
That's one of my strongest things that I can do. Or best things I can
I should
do.
have just asked Deacon Fountain Blue for a key.
It's all right. It's just chain.
I could try to pick
padlock.
the lock.
Or we could do that much more subtle approach.
No,
Why don't
yeah.
you do that in front of the police?
Well, they're on the side. They can't
No, they're on
see
the east side. They can't see us.
Oh, okay. Pick the lock, Bunk.
Yeah, we'll try
And
to
I'll
get
stand so
Yeah, burglary?
whatever-
Well,
Yeah.
and I think
rock
in
and
this
roll. All
special
right, make a roll.
circumstance, They might not. hold
wherever
it.
the sniper might be, I'm standing in front so he can't see what we're doing.
Oh no.
You don't know. But what'd you get?
-2.
Oh, yeah. No, not so much. Yeah.
Yep.
The padlock is obviously a high-quality padlock that has defeated your...
Blessed by the church, of course.
right,
You
that's
can't
what
get
it
in.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
You don't know where the sniper is. You're not really sure.
I was just trying to maybe just cover it so he did.
So you're up at the gate. You've tried to pick it. Didn't work. What do you want to do?
Do we want to just go in?
Let's
Is
just
it
wait here
dark
for them.
out? Are the people about?
Well, it's just 10, 15, 10, 20 is dark. There's people out, but nobody's really paying attention to you guys. You know.
I mean, we got air support.
Yeah.
Can you and go over and see if there's anybody. In
Oh, duh. Yeah. Okay. And I just lift people over.
Okay.
I fly with people over.
Okay. So you who you gonna take first?
Her first.
You really don't even have to fly over. You can just pretty much jump over, drop her off, jump
Okay.
back over. It takes you maybe 15, 10 minutes to long. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
People are throwing up on the
Yeah,
other side.
You get everybody over and inside. There's kind of a little entrance area that is a little larger area between the tombs. But again, as you land, you realize how much cover there is. There's these walkways that kind of go between the tombs. There's a kind of a main walkway that goes straight north from you. And then there's all these little alleyways leading off everywhere. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't see anything.
So let's find a place.
And it's dark, so you're just going, holy crap.
Maybe
It's
find a place
really bad.
where
It's
we
a
could
literal labyrinth.
stand so that the police can see.
No. There's
No?
too much.
All right.
There's too many tombs
Yeah.
in between. They have no idea where you are. I mean, there's just so much.
So we really
I'll show you the
need-
pictures again if you want to see. Yeah.
So really, I think
Yeah.
we need to be outside of here so we have a shot to take some of
You
them
want
down.
to check to see if there's anybody
Before.
inside
Like, can we just
now,
see if
or just kinda,
anybody's early?
like, go to the
or
Laveau's
do we hear anything?
tomb
Go
or
to Laveau's tomb. You can't. Well, make a alertness check to see if you're trying to figure out if you hear anything going on. Now it's about 10:30, so yeah, there you go.
Knowing how these series go,
One.
we didn't hear anything for hours, but the moment we shut Dell's door, it's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Ooh,
got
that's
3.
a nice roll. So what's we got?
One.
One.
Kylan? Alertness.
Um,
Alertness.
So I have echoes of the beast
Okay.
and being dragon reptiles
Right.
or whatever. It says I can do one minor thing that normal people can't do related to the abilities of your beastkin.
Right.
This might be like by tracking scent, like for a wolf, or finding your way around while blind or in total darkness. Hiding in plain sight like a chameleon. Could I maybe use some I don't know, sense of smell?
Tell me
from,
you're going
a
to do
reptile?
forked tongue. Oh,
I was thinking about
Yeah,
snakes.
actually,
Can I
well,
do something
dragons
like
can
that?
actually detect invisible things, so I could see that. So
I
yeah,
can sniff the air and get like
Yeah.
a +1 to the skill or something.
Absolutely, absolutely.
alertness?
That seems reasonable. Very, very
The air
reasonable.
in
For sure.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's right. The air of New Orleans, kibosh, was all of
You
that.
need like a little
I would
filter.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the season and what's going on.
It's a cemetery. It's reasonably clean.
It's March.
No. You guys are like November, so it's cold.
Oh, so
Well,
yeah, it's not a
It's as
problem.
cold
You're
as
good.
New Orleans gets.
Real time.
Yeah.
It
real
was
time,
March.
yeah.
Was,
Okay.
was
You're
everybody in the van when we left? All of the SWAT members were in the
As
van?
far as you know, the only person you saw was James Jefferson. Yeah. There could have been nobody in the back of the van, but you don't know.
At some point, we did hear him
Yeah,
say
I just
that.
don't want him seeing me change. So
No,
I'm
he
just-
hasn't. He hasn't.
Well, I don't know if he's already set up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you have
So,
no idea. Yeah.
I'm not gonna change, so my alertness isn't gonna be super good. But
Well, look, you're on their side, so
Well, no.
I'm looking for
Now,
you.
now realize, you're also in the cemetery, which means there's lots of cover. So he's not going to be able to see you. I'll show you the picture again.
well,
Yeah.
I got a +5 without shapeshifting.
Oh wow!
So
yeah,
I rolled really good dice this time.
you kind of tongue thing, and you kind of feeling around to see if it. You think you hear something from the northwest.
Okay. So, The Northwest tastes sour.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Come
And
on.
I began skulking.
Like how Bunk had the exact reaction.
Yeah, pretty sure something's over here.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go.
All right.
Should we split
Do
up or
we need
go
to
all
do we
together?
need
Yeah,
to
we go together.
stealth?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a
Let's
stealthy
stealth
stealth.
My stealth is at 0.
Is stealth a specific thing, or
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
an
Yeah,
Yeah.
stealthy stealth.
Okay, now I'll find somewhere dark to change.
I have +1.
I got a 2.
If that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine. No, there's lots of shadows you can hide in.
Forward.
Yes, absolutely.
Look at that.
I mean,
Oh, wow. Okay,
Who
there's
needs
your
stealth?
+4s.
When you got fire dice.
I feel like my character is basically a paladin, and I roll stealth like every
You
time.
got a 4?
Wow.
No, that is.
No,
I
she
got
just
a
went,
1,
that's
I
terrible. I'm going to
reset
just
this.
roll all this over here. So
This
plus
is just for me to
4.
feel better. I just said all the plus
Zero.
so I can look.
ghost.
Let the
Dose.
bad weight settle down.
What'd you get?
3.
Okay, and
1.
okay. You
That's
begin
average.
moving. Are you guys going to move to Marie Laveau's tomb? Because that's west.
That-
You're sensing things to the northwest.
We're going to follow
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Following the nose.
Okay.
Or the tongue. Or
The
begin heading-
nose.
Now it's about 10:30. You're heading between the tombs. There's, oh my gosh, so many tombs, little narrow alleyways, and I'll be honest with you, it's making you a bit paranoid because you're thinking, oh my gosh, something could pop out from between these tombs, and we would never know. I mean, there's lots of little alleys and stuff like that.
I'm gonna shoot a text really quick to the super troopers to let them know that we are moving in this general direction
Yeah,
because they're
northwest,
unaware of our movements.
Yeah.
Right?
Then
Not
I'm going
smart.
to tell her,
That's smart.
please use words.
Oh yeah. They don't get me
At which
yet.
point her phone dies.
Oh,
Here's a fake one.
At which point her phone dies.
Did it really die?
You're too close to her.
no.
Don't take
You're
that.
also a little stressed
Don't-
out.
Don't take
No,
that.
I'm not going to take it.
You take it.
I'm not going to take it.
Don't take that.
I really want it, but
You can take it.
Your phone, you're not sure. You're having a little trouble getting a signal,
okay, I'm
but
going to
you
choose mine. I'm going to take it.
Okay. At
No,
which
I'm not.
point her phone,
Yes,
but you can't get a signal in here. I don't. Maybe it's all the granite or stuff like that. You're not sure what's going on.
Well, let's just.
You're not.
It's Christmas.
You're moving through the tombstones and stuff in the cemetery. You kind of keep into the shadows, very quiet and things like that. You got a plus. No. What'd you get for your stealth check?
+4.
What'd you get? 0, 2. What'd you get, Kyle?
3.
3, 1. Okay. Bunk, I'm gonna need a mic check.
Oh no!
You can do it, bud.
You can do it. You can do it.
You can do it. You can do it.
Ooh,
Ooh, nice.
2. All right. You guys are moving between the tombstones and stuff like that, heading towards the northwest where you've determined the problems are. Everybody, make me a alertness check.
Dead even.
1. I also got dead even.
1.
I got 2.
I'm at a 1.
4.
Whoa.
You've noticed that Bunk is no longer with you guys.
What?
Okay. Yeah. Bunk is no longer with you guys.
I'm sorry.
I say, where's Bunk?
Yep. Bunk, something from between the tombstones has grabbed you and drug you between them. There's just something holding you there. It's over your mouth. You can't talk. You're just like,
Gross.
move. Yeah. It's like these black tendrils have just wrapped around you in your mouth and stuff. I mean, you can see one of them's actually across one of your eyes, but you can see out of one of your eyes. I mean, you just can't move. You kind of look around, trying to figure out what this is, and these tendrils are pulling you in this very shadowy area between the tombs.
no.
At the end of the hallway is a dark cloaked figure wearing a black mask. You can see it's obviously human shaped, and the voice says, "One at a time." And begins pulling you basically these tendrils are kind of coming off of this person. They've grabbed you, and then they're kind of moving you towards the northwest. All right, so you've noticed Bunk is gone.
Can I track him or see what's...
He does have the stinky mojo.
It's survival?
Is survival a thing?
Survival's a thing.
I have it at a 0.
You can roll. Nothing says you can't roll. You can also tag aspects, anything that might help you.
Yeah, we'll see how this
Tag
roll
his
goes.
commentary too. Well,
And I don't even know if it succeeds, but I'm going to go ahead and tag the aspect. Friends with benefits.
He is your friend, that's true.
And I'm going to just add a +2 to it.
All right, so what'd you get total?
5.
All right, wow. Well, that's pretty good, yeah. All right.
It's twice, man.
That's twice as I said.
You kind of backtrack a bit. All of you are kind of following.
This
both-
2010, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Before all this things happen.
I just want to make the comment he didn't scream, so what are the chances he's all right?
Yeah. Or dead.
Guys, everybody,
That's right. He
this
wasn't
is
when he
our-
said scream, so...
we need
I
to-
was.
We need to all, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send out a text to the group and be like,
Oh, is your phone working?
attack.
I think your phone died.
I don't know if it's working or not. I don't know if my last thing.
Well,
got
you're
sent out.
having trouble getting a signal, but so yes. Okay.
Probably not.
You head back a couple 20, 30, maybe 40 feet, and you see what looks like somebody's feet shuffling on the ground in the dirt that's there. You think it's probably Bunk. And so you see that this shuffling movement has moved between two of the tombs. And it's a really narrow area between the tombs. Looks like a really good area for an ambush. You're nervous.
Do I have any utility string
are you
in
telling
my...
us this?
I don't know.
Well, y'all didn't just let me walk off, did you?
No,
No,
I'm
we're
thinking you guys
following you,
follow
I
me.
mean,
No,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like we're gonna
If
scrap.
it's
I think he was
Link
drugged back
arms.
through this tight area.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
We should link
You're gonna have to go
arms.
single file. You're a little.
Everybody,
It's very dark.
T-shirt buddy.
I'm curious here right now. So you said feet kicking.
Mm-hmm.
Was Volt the only one who saw that?
Yes.
Okay. I just want
Now-
to make
now
sure
once
we
he
weren't all
points-
just standing here watching these feet kick. Corners like,
Once you look at the ground and he points out, look, the dirt is disturbed here. It looks like somebody was drugged this way. You can see it very obviously. Yeah. So yeah.
Everybody grab onto the person behind you's T-shirt.
You go first, and I'll
Okay.
bring up the rear.
Sounds good. All right, I'll go first. Grab my T-shirt.
Alright, I got
T-shirt too. Okay.
you to success.
All right, I'm going to follow. Can I see
It's
if there's a trail to follow?
Very, very dark. Okay. You
I'm gonna use
really
my phone
would like.
flashlight.
Okay, your phone's not working
Oh
right.
God! What I have brought.
She's nervous. What do you want? Jody, you create light. We had this discussion last time.
Oh, did we? Yes, I'm
Yeah.
creating light.
On what? You create it on her phone for all
Yeah,
you
I'm
want.
gonna create light on her phone.
Yeah.
You think it's working now?
That's
Really
right.
Really trying to
Back side of her phone starts glowing.
Is
Yeah.
that the first time
Yeah.
you've ever
Your
touched
phone.
someone's phone and it started working?
Yeah, right. Yeah, then you look at the back and realize it's just glowing. There's
all
nothing really
blue.
wrong.
It's all
What the heck?
blue.
Why is the back of my phone? Oh, never mind.
My
okay, so,
phone screen lit up by magical light after you ruined my
yeah,
phone.
but
It's
all
the
it
best
is is
thing
the
that's
phone
ever-
screen just glowing. It's not actually showing anything. It's just glowing. Right.
That's
Great.
amazing.
She's caused all the pixels to fire at once, as bright as possible. That's it.
All right, I'll use it as
Can
light.
I also put light on the tombs?
No, not really. The problem you're having with the tombs is these are holy relics. You don't want to mess with the Catholic Church's. Yeah,
Right.
this would be a bad thing to
But
do.
I could
yeah.
like put light on, say, his shoulder or his
Something
shoulder.
he's carrying. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't probably put it on a person.
We'll just stick with the phone because I don't want
Oh,
to
yeah.
make everybody
We have
targets.
badges.
You can make the badges
Oh, the
glow
badges-
for all
the
that
badges
matters.
will glow.
Right?
Is that
Absolutely,
good?
absolutely.
I think it's
Okay, so you badges start glowing, your phone starts glowing, your badge starts glowing too, and you
Nice.
begin moving through this little narrow alleyway. You are heading down the alleyway, and you notice behind you it gets very, very dark. Okay, you may look.
Yeah.
A large shape has just blocked the area where you just came through.
Okay.
Okay. In front of you, you notice that there are several large shapes in front of you. And from behind you, you hear the voice say, "Told you we'd meet again." You're pretty sure that's one of the ghouls from last night.
Yeah.
I thought it was the dad from the Baker residence.
Yeah, that too.
Any idea? We don't know what
Like,
time
guys,
it is.
this
Can we
is
guesstimate? Is
About
it close
10:30.
to the
It's
time?
10:30. It's
What
10:30.
time are the police going to be set up? 10:30?
No, they were coming down when you guys
They were
did, so
already
they
there?
should be somewhere close
So,
by.
okay.
I think
Yeah.
11 is
So-
when they're going to be.
Yeah.
What are the chances of them seeing these lights that I've put up?
Now, Bunk, what
Oh.
you've seen is that
Because the lights are only on
these tendrils have grabbed you, and there's this guy or girl or something in a cloak. He's wrapped this
thought
stuff
we were
around
also
you.
on
He's
top.
pulling you
Oh, are we?
towards the
I thought so.
northwest.
Unless I
And as
missed
soon as he
something.
pulls you out of this little narrow area,
I just
these
assumed the whole-
4
big
ghouls, the guys from last night, close in around the end. And he's moving you towards the northwest. And he says, "You know, the young man who we," and you can tell it's obviously a guy now, "the young man who we were using for the ritual the night before last, unfortunately gave up the ghost. But you'll do." And you're like, "You can't get rid of this." And he's kind of got this stuff wrapped around him. He's dragging behind you. He takes you past several of the larger monuments towards the northwest, where there's this grassy area, and you notice there's a person waiting there for him. They've got this ritual circle set up. It's been laid out in salt and things like that, and the person standing there says, 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's not even the witching hour. Will this even work? And the guy with you says, "Well, let's find out." Strap him to the chair. In the middle of this circle is, for what all intents and purposes, looks like an old electric chair.
Oh my god, I knew it!
And the things and stuff like that. And so he moves you into the electric chair. You're fighting the whole time, and he reaches over and slaps the arm holds on you, and the little thing on top of your head, and you notice that this electric chair is hooked up to what looks like a car battery. Yeah. Today on the Dresden Download, we're going to talk about the New Orleans Special Task Force. Now, if you're wondering, I've never heard of the New Orleans Special Task Force. That's because they don't really exist. They're a counterpart to the Special Investigations Division in the Chicago Police Force. And if you're going, who? Well, that's because the Special Investigations Unit doesn't really exist either. If you remember from the Dresden Files, the Special Investigations Unit was headed by Karen Murphy in several of the Dresden Files books. And they were basically the division of the Chicago PD that was supposed to investigate the paranormal. And then Karen Murphy's job was to make the paranormal seem normal. Vampires became people who were hallucinating because they were taking drugs. And trolls became really ugly, drunk men or something like that. Well, in our game, the New Orleans Special Task Force is actually a group of policemen who are in the know. They know that the paranormal exists, and they work extensively with the Catholic Church to handle these kinds of problems. They've dealt with white court vampires in one of our episodes. They've dealt with ghouls and things like that, and so they kind of know what they're up against. They're going into this wide-eyed open. But if you continue with our episodes, you'll see what happens to them. So, the New Orleans Special Task Force is a special division of policemen who are equipped to deal with the paranormal. Or so they think.